Hi, I'm Doug here at Global West, and we've been doing a series of videos on the C5 C6 Corvette, and especially doing installations. Now in this particular video, we're going to be installing the lower control arm Del-A-Lum Bushings in a Z06. We happen to have it at the back of the shop. In the prior video, we showed you about how to do the upper control arms, doing the bearing. It's, like I said, it acts like a bearing, not necessarily a bushing, but more like a bearing. But in the lowers, we're going to do the Del-A-Lums. So let's take a minute, we'll go in the back, and let's show you how easy it is to remove the bushings out of the arm and install our Del-A-Lums. All right, I'm in the back of the shop. We've got our lower control arm here for a Corvette. So let's take a minute and let me show you how quick it is to remove these bushings and install our Del-A-Lums. First thing we're going to do is use a bearing removing tool. And I turn it upside down, and so the flat edge goes against the control arm. And you want to get that underneath the lip of the rubber, in between the rubber bushing and the control arm. All right, once we've got that, we're going to take a press tool, we're going to put it here, and this is like it's part of our press tool that we've made here in order to do these Corvette control arms. We do quite a few of them. But all you need to do is have a tube large enough to fit over this bushing and go in the press, cap it off. So let me go ahead and show you how this works. By doing it this way, there's no load being presented onto the control arm at all. All we're doing is just pressing the bushing out. There we go. There's one. Okay, let's go ahead and do the other side. And we're going to do that in the same fashion. Okay, so we've got our bushings pressed out of the control arm. Now what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you the Del-A-Lum bushing. Now there's two sizes, as you can see in the control arm. And when we install these, this is a grease hole. We're going to put a Zerk fitting in the control arm, and this is going to line up with it so that when we add grease, it'll penetrate into the bushing. But we're going to do that from the bottom side. So what we want to do is we want to mark our position where we're going to install grease fittings in the control arm. One of the ways to do that is to take this bushing, and you want to do it at 90 degrees from when it's sitting on the car. So that's going to be right in here. I could set this up a little bit and balance it out. So all you're going to have to do is just set this on top of it and mark the center line. It's going to be at the center of the control arm. Okay? You see how I've tilted this up so it simulates this pretty much parallel. And what we want to do is have that 90 degrees. So it's going to go right here, right on the top. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. The whole idea is to make sure that the grease Zerk, when you drill the hole, will hit this hole in the bushing. And if you'll notice, the hole in the bushing is pretty good size. So basically, just marking this out, you'll be all right in reference for the alignment. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and center punch it. And we'll go ahead and drill them. You're going to use a 210 thousandths drill bit, and the tap you're going to use is a 1/4 28. So let's go ahead and drill this. Next, we're going to go ahead and tap. I use a little tapping fluid. Okay, that's completed. Next thing is I'm going to take a little file. I'm going to make sure there's no burrs. Nope. And I'll take a little Scotch-Brite. Just clean it up inside there. Make sure there's no debris of any kind in there. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to press the bushings into the control arm. And I'll get a little grease for that, just a little bit. And what we're going to do is when we press that in, we want the holes to line up. Okay, so let's go do that. What we're going to do is we're going to push it down so it goes flush in the control arm. So you just go all the way. Okay. Hole lines up just great. See? Drops right in. All right, we're going to do the other side. Same procedure. Put a little lube in there, just a little. You can go a little easier. Okay, let's go press this side in. Now, before I get too far into this, I want to make sure that everything is aligned properly. The hole is lined up. You can see there. Looks good. Okay. Let's go ahead and put it in. Okay. So the next thing, go ahead and put our grease fittings in real quick. You could actually put the grease fittings in at any time. You know, at the end of the job or whatever. Let's go ahead and put them in now. All right. So, the way these bushings work, it's a Del-A-Lum, so you've got the housing, you've got an inner rotating sleeve, you've got a steel sleeve, and you've got inner and outer thrust washers. And in this particular case, for the Corvette, you also have steel thrust washers as well. So let me show you how this goes together. Put a little grease in here. Put a little grease in the inserts. Now it doesn't matter which insert, whether you put it in the front or back, they're all the same for this application. All right. Slides in there. Okay. Steel sleeves go to the inside. Slide in, as you can see. Okay. Next thing is we're going to put the thrust washers on. Of course, obviously, since this is the larger diameter bushing, the larger thrust washers go with it, and also the larger steel thrust washer. I put a little grease on each side. Those pop in like that. They actually index inside the sleeve. And there's that. Same thing here. You notice the thicker thrust washer goes to the outside of the control arm. Okay. Cover sleeves. And this will go in a little bit deeper. Okay. So once we install these in the vehicle and you torque the bolt torques against the steel thrust washers, which is indexed inside the steel sleeve, and we preset the load on the thrust washers. And so this arm, once it's installed, will work smoothly, straight up and straight down without any deflection. You won't have any bind at all. Okay, looks like that. Wipe a little of the grease off, and we're actually ready to go put this back on the vehicle. Okay, now you got a real good idea how easy it is to install the Del-A-Lum bushings, and also how easy it is to remove the stock bushings, especially with those press tools that we use. So if you have any questions or anything at all in reference to what we've shown you here, please give us a call and we'd be glad to help you out.